first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. There is a live look of our Shriners camera, taking a look at downtown Portland with some of the clouds that are coming in there. But let's skip over to the coast, Seaside. That is what's happening out there. Still people on the beach enjoying that. And you know, just south of there is Cannon Beach. And we're going to be discussing that here in just a second and the impending return of the Tufted Puffins. I'm Greg Nibbler, and again, we are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We are here every weekday, starting 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon and covering a wide range of topics, but this is a fun one. It's always great to talk about the amazing wildlife and nature of the Pacific Northwest, and the Tufted Puffins are part of that. It's just fun to say Tufted Puffins. But let's talk about that a little bit more right now. We've got Jenny Goody from the Haystack Rock Awareness Program. And Jenny, thank you for being here for this topic. And to start off, would you mind just telling us a little bit about Haystack Rock Awareness Program and yourself as well?
Haystack Rock Awareness Program. That one I can talk on and on about. So Haystack Rock Awareness Program has been around for quite a while now, and our goal is conservation through education. So what we try to do is not just, we're not just protectors of our area, but we're also there to share the knowledge that we have gained about all the sea life, the animals, and how to keep everything safe and going for years to come. And it started out with volunteers, and it has grown into a program that the city is very proud of, and that it's now we've got a great staff, and we also have volunteers. And so it's a combination of both. I started out as a volunteer 5 years ago, and then I moved into being onto the beach as one of the interpreters, and now I've moved into a year-round position, and I'm now the communication coordinator. So it's kind of fun how my time and my journey has evolved as well.
That's amazing. I mean, it proves that I think you must have liked it if you started off as volunteering and now you're communications coordinator.
And I think I can say for even my coworkers, it's so addicting that when we don't work on our days off, we still come down because you just don't want to miss out on anything.
I mean, it's such a beautiful area and such an amazing spot, you know, just to go to visit, you know, for anybody who doesn't live there. I was just there last weekend, actually. And it's fantastic for that, but also, you know, talking about the wildlife and just the amazing, you know, variety that we have here in the Northwest. Let's talk about Tufted Puffins. Would you mind letting everybody know, you know, just what a Tufted Puffin is?
Well, puffins are such dynamic creatures. So there are several puffins. People, when they think of a puffin, they iconically go to the Atlantic puffin, which are those ones that have the white bellies that we see all over. We see them in literature, we see them in merchandising, and they've got the biggest PR out there. But our puffins are not the ones that have the white bellies. Ours is actually, so there's three commonly known. There's a fourth one as well, but there's the tufted puffin, the Atlantic puffin, and the horn puffin. And so ours is the tufted. Ours is unusual from the puffins because they're all black. You can see them in the center of the video. They're all black. They have a white mask, and so it makes them very dynamic. They're also the largest of the three known puffins. There's a fourth one that they're flirting with, and that's the rhinoceros auklet, but we all know the main three. The puffins are a pelagic bird, so they are a bird that lives in the ocean. They prefer to be on the ocean. They don't really prefer to land, but they obviously have to come to land so they can nest. So they will spend the majority of their life out in the ocean. I mean, there's so many things. These little birds are so amazing in how tough they are. Being a pelagic bird, they're monogamous, so they mate for life. And that is such a cool fact. So when you look at a puffin, it's not readily identifiable as to say whether it's male or female. They look very the same because when you're monogamous, you don't have to work every year like other birds to attract mates. They're together. So they have that commonality. So it's hard to pick out male or female when you look at them. But, you know, the fact that they spend all winter out on the open ocean, don't see land, they float on the water, they fish, they sleep, and everything is from the water, and they don't see land until they come to nest, to me is just incredible, especially when you think of those ocean swells, the storms. They ride it all out, and then They come in. And then they're tough little birds. You know, they people often will think of them as like a penguin, but obviously not like a penguin. Ours fly. They can dive. They're really built for diving. They can dive up to 200 to 200 50 feet underwater. And so this little bird that would be on average about 14 inches tall can dive that deep to get to their food. I mean, I could just go on and on, all these amazing facts about them, but they're tough little birds.
And yeah, I mean, they clearly are spending all of that time out in the ocean and then coming into land. So what's I mean, we must be in the right time of year, but what can you tell us, about when they come onto land to nest, and as far as, when they come, how long they're here, all of that?
Sure. Well, so they start to come in about. We saw them this year. The first time they were seen by our crew was on April 1st, which is kind of funny, April Fool's Day. And when we saw them in the area. So when they're out in the ocean, they can be 50 to 100 miles out in the ocean. So they start to move in, and they come closer and closer. As they get closer, then they start scouting the area around, and they gotta, look, is there predators area in the area? Is it safe? They start kind of checking out the neighborhood, kind of like when we come, we want to check the neighborhood out first. So when we saw them on April 1st, they were flying around Haystack. We saw them out behind it, but they hadn't actually come to the rock yet. They weren't quite ready to get back into their typical areas, so they were just scoping the area. Yesterday was the actual first day that we saw them on Haystack Rock, and which is the thing I love about it. It was World Puffin Day, so I don't think they got the memo, but it was awesome, the timing. And so then we actually saw them up on Haystack Rock. So they'll come April, they will go through, they'll start nesting next month, they'll hatch their eggs, they'll have their young. They only lay one egg every season, by the way. So as they hatch their eggs, then once they are ready, that they feel that the puffwing, which is the name for a baby puffin, I love that puffwing. When the
Puffwing, come on.
puffwing, well, isn't that everything about them is so cute? They, by the way, they call a group of them a circus because they have a nickname of being in the clowns of the sea. So I think, although I don't think they're clowns, but so when they hit that point of when the puffling they can leave, then it's about mid-August is when they all start departing and going back out to the open ocean. So that's when we'll start seeing them gone at that point.
For people who want to go out there and check out the tufted puffins, what's the best advice you would have for being able to see them and watch them through this whole process?
Sure. I say be patient. There isn't a lot of them, so our numbers are definitely under about 100. So we have other birds like our common murre. We can have several hundred of them, and then less than 100. So the odds are smaller, so you have to be patient. They do like to be more active earlier in the day, so you're going to find them more often during morning hours. I would come pretty early. If you can aim it with a low tide, tides don't have a lot because they don't come down to the beach, but tides will open up more beach so you can get closer to Haystack. They're up on top. They like the dirt on top because the top of Haystack Rock is one of those few areas that actually has dirt, and they burrow about 5 to 7 feet into that dirt. They have burrows that they like to come back to every year. So when you look, you're going to either see them at the entrance of the burrow, or you'll watch them as they fly out, and they're scouting for fish, and they're going out and forward and looking for food. So you'll see them flying up high or on top, but you won't see them down on the beach. You won't see them in our marine garden and those rocks in front of Haystack Rock.
Gotcha. So a good set of binoculars, I would imagine, would help.
Binoculars are a great idea. Bird scopes. Now, if you come when our staff is there, we will have binoculars available for people to borrow. And if the weather is good, we'll have bird scopes out as well. There's also Friends of Haystack Rock will be doing a puffin watch later on July 1st through the 4th. So that's another fun time if you want to come. This Saturday we're having our puffin welcome, so we'll have bird scopes and educators out as well. So there's opportunities to have guided. Or if you come down, come find us. We will do our best to help you find them and identify them.
Nice. So all those opportunities there for people to go out and check out the tufted puffins.
Absolutely, and it's really worth it. When you see one, you'll never forget it. I mean, it's definitely an experience to remember.
And for people who want to look up, more online and on the website and just to find out more about everything before they head out there or whenever they do, what's the best way to do that?
I would go to Haystack Rock Awareness Program, come to our website. On there, we will have the tide schedule, so you'll know what the tides are doing. You can get more information about puffins, so you know what you're looking for. If you go to Friends of Haystack Rock, they have a camera that they have out on Haystack, so you can look through there and maybe kind of see what the weather looks like and if it's going to be worth venturing down. So those are two definitely, I would go those routes.
All right. Well, Jenny, thank you. You are a wealth of knowledge about Haystack Rock and tufted puffins. And I've learned a lot just in this. Now I really want to get out there to see them myself. And
It's worth it.
I mean, why not? Yeah. I mean, what did you say? The group of them is called a circus?
It's a circus, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, fantastic. Well, Jenny, thank you very much for joining us here to talk about this. I really appreciate
Thanks for
it.
reaching out.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, thanks for being here on Fox 12 Now.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We've got the Epicenter of Women's Sports podcast coming up, but we are live here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. If it's your first time watching, check out all of our segments. They're on that Fox 12 Oregon app. And we'll take a quick break. Back in a minute with more.